starts right now.
Hi, good morning. Well, we begin this half hour with this live look at the radar across Texas. As you can see, Beryl continues to move into the Houston area.
Hey there, good morning. It is 6 a.m. on Monday, July 8th, and we have been watching our meteorologists here in the studio just working so hard throughout the weekend.
Yes, we have. They've been super busy. Thanks for joining us, by the way. So thank you to Justin, who's covering it out in the Matagorda Bay area. And also, our Sarah Spivey's been busy all weekend and all morning.
Yeah, we've been watching as Beryl has moved further upshore, which means unfortunately we're on the dry side of this storm here in San Antonio. We're not going to get any rain from Beryl, but I'll tell you what, areas like Houston, Galveston right now, they are getting gusty winds and torrential downpours. Hurricane Beryl is a Category 1 hurricane still. It moved on shore, made landfall around 4 o'clock in the morning in Matagorda. Now, a current look at the radar shows you just how hard the rain is falling in areas like Houston, Galveston. They've got several inches of rainfall from Houston down to Galveston already, with several more inches of rain on the way because Beryl is moving, but it's bringing a ton of rain and damaging wind gusts to some of these areas. Earlier in Freeport, there was a wind gust of 92 miles per hour, wind gusts in Galveston of 75 miles per hour, in Houston of 60 to 70 miles per hour. And the rain and the wind just keeps on coming for these areas. Now, again, here in San Antonio, we are on the dry side of the storm, but there's starting to be some light rain for Hallettsville. Hallettsville, in our viewing area, also experiencing wind gusts of up to 52 miles per hour at the moment. Let's go ahead and track Beryl throughout the rest of the day. It'll be moving closer to College Station by about 1 p.m. today as a tropical storm, so weakening as it moves inland. Then by overnight hours, it'll be through Texarkana, falling apart near Little Rock by tomorrow afternoon. But still a ton of rainfall expected for areas from Texarkana all the way down to Houston and Galveston. It's these areas that are going to be seeing flooding rains with less rain the further west you go, and no rain around San Antonio today. As we look at your forecast, the only impact we're going to see from Beryl today in San Antonio are a few gusts of up to 30 miles per hour. Otherwise, it's going to be a warm and mostly sunny day with a high of 95. Taking another look at Beryl, it was just updated by the National Hurricane Center, still maintaining its Category 1 hurricane status. It did make landfall right around Matagorda. Our meteorologist Justin Horn was in the eye, the quiet eye, but now on the south side of that storm, he's getting a lot of rain, a lot of winds. Justin, it's been a busy night for you.
Yeah, Sarah, you know, it's pretty impressive. This southern part of the storm has been packing a punch, more so than I honestly thought that it would. I think we're starting to get some gusts close to 60 miles per hour at least on the southern side of this storm. So it just goes to show you that that first wave was pretty significant, and now we're getting a second wave that is also pretty impressive. So I would imagine there will be some damage here around Matagorda, where we've been most of the evening. And that storm surge that we saw earlier that basically covered this road here behind me, that has since gone down. But now we're getting it from the other side. We'll see what that does as far as storm surge. Most of that's going to be going back out into the Gulf of Mexico, which is good. But certainly these winds cause for concern. It's not over yet if you're watching from here in the Matagorda area. There's still another probably hour or so before things really begin to let up, guys.
All right, thanks, Justin. It's incredible to see what that looks like firsthand. He's been covering this throughout the weekend, and he was there earlier when it hit and made landfall. And Beryl is going through Houston, the Houston area right now. We got a firsthand look at what things look like around their landfall.
Mario Diaz from our sister station KPRC was in Galveston.
We're about an hour and 20 minutes south of downtown Houston. The location where I stand is called the west end of Galveston Island. It's just right beside what is known as San Luis Pass. We're under a covered area, a parking garage of a condominium complex, but I will tell you that in the last hour, the winds here have really picked up, as has the rainfall. You can see that it's coming down sideways. Our storm tracker vehicle lighting things up for you, give you an indication of what we're dealing with. You can see the wildlife that they have here just moving all towards the south from where we're standing right now. It's all moving in that direction. The rain's coming down from our left to right. And it's been like this throughout the course of the entire evening.
And again, that was KPRC's Mario Diaz reporting from Galveston. Now, as the storm pushes through the Houston area, the American Red Cross expecting to spend nearly $2 million helping Texans throughout the storm. A lot of that help is coming from local resources. So dozens of those volunteers and 11 truckloads of resources are from the Central and South Texas chapter. The Red Cross says it is prepared to shelter and feed any Texans who need it. You can find a running list of our shelters, of the shelters on our website at KSAT.com.
And the Salvation Army of San Antonio is also helping those in need along the coast. Crews will arrive in Wharton later this morning. That is west of Houston. 2 units from San Antonio and 1 unit from New Braunfels will be helping out. We spoke to some of the Salvation Army leaders who say their goal is to serve around 1,500 meals a day when they get deployed. And they plan to be there for at least a week.
And you can stay on top of this storm as it moves through Texas with KSAT on air and online. You can just scan that QR code right there on your screen to go straight to the KSAT weather page where we'll have you covered.
And RJ, I know, was talking about the fact that a lot of folks here in San Antonio thought we might see some of that storm from Beryl, but that is one of the reasons maybe this morning why some of the construction crews are not out there.
Yeah, that's sort of my best guesstimation. Usually we do see some heavy construction, especially to start off the week, especially in the northeast side, northwest side of town. But that has actually not been the case, y'all, because it seems to me that TxDOT maybe anticipated that we may get some rain in our area, but that is definitely, we're not seeing any of that right now on the road. So right now, if you're about to step outside, you have pretty much smooth sailing for the most part. A couple different things to let you know about. We were talking about the northeast side of town. We do have a stalled vehicle out over by Olympia Parkway. That's going to be 35, these southbound lanes, and we're going to go to our maps here in just a second. We'll take a look at their 37 Jones Avenue. So stalled vehicle's been out there for about 15-20 minutes or so. We have a TxDOT, a Hero truck out there, and it looks like this is affecting, again, the southbound lanes, the far right-handed lane for all of our drivers coming in, maybe from the Selma, Cibolo, Schertz area coming down to the Forum and Olympia Parkway. Let's go ahead and check back in. Photojournalist Alex Gomez. He is out and about in the streets of San Antonio this morning. Happy Monday, Alex.
Happy Monday, RJ, and good morning. Right now I'm on the west side still, 410. I'm headed eastbound at near Bandera Road, and right now it's been looking pretty good. We don't have to worry about Hurricane Beryl or any construction barrels because earlier this morning I was on the northeast side, 35 south at 1604. All of those lanes were open. So far it's been a nice, dry, and safe commute, RJ.
All right, we like to see that, but we do anticipate more people get on the roads for their 6 o'clock hour, maybe start their work week off with us. All right, thank you very much, Alex, for checking some things out there in the streets of San Antonio. Again, our only incident we're seeing 35 southbound Olympia Parkway. Right here, this is 37 south at Southeast Military. That has actually been cleared out, so we're good to go for our drivers on the southeast side of San Antonio. Patty, Stephanie, back to you guys.
Thank you, RJ.
All right, thanks, RJ. 6:08 right now, 79 degrees.
Well, still to come, the Spurs were really busy this weekend, signing point guard Chris Paul and making trades. RJ Marquez will break it all down and what it means for this year's roster.
And taking a live look outside with our live cam. Look at that. Traffic moving along good. No wet roads today, but that could change possibly tomorrow. We're going to have that update from Sarah Spivey coming up in just a few minutes. New this morning, San Antonio police say a Sonic worker was shot and killed late last night. This happened just before 10 p.m. on Babcock Road near Hebner Road. Police say the Sonic employee got into a fight with a customer over money and the customer's order. That is when police say the customer shot the worker and then left. The worker died from his injuries. Detectives are now looking at video from the business to get a better description of that suspect.
And a man is in the hospital this morning after being shot a few hours ago at a bar near downtown. It happened just after 2 a.m. in the 300 block of Austin Street. That's just north of downtown near Brooklyn Avenue. So San Antonio police say a fight broke out in front of the Hangtime Bar and patio before the man was shot. He is expected to be okay, and so far there's no information on a suspect. It's 6:13 right now. You guys have been super busy, but at least here in San Antonio, things look okay.
Yeah, and it's interesting, because it's a double-edged sword. So we wanted rain here in San Antonio. We need it. We're in drought. But as we were looking at Beryl over the last couple of days, it was obvious that it was going to miss us to the east. And so unfortunately, no rain in San Antonio, but they're getting very heavy winds and very heavy rains right now from Houston down to Galveston. And even though we need the rain in San Antonio, we do not want what they're getting out in Houston and Galveston right now. And so here's a look at Hurricane Beryl. Hurricane Beryl, still a Category 1 hurricane with sustained winds of 80 miles per hour. In order to be considered a hurricane, it needs sustained winds of 74 miles per hour or greater. Now, Beryl is working its way inland as we speak. The eye has already moved inland, now working its way through Lake Jackson. I'm going to go ahead and show you the radar here because I want you to see just how heavy this rain is falling out near the Houston area right now. Whenever we're looking at tropical storms, the eastern side of the storm is always the very messy part of the storm with heavy rains, high winds, and that's exactly the case right now from Houston down to Galveston. Earlier, Galveston reported a 75-mile-per-hour wind gust. And take a look at how much rain has already fallen in this area. Just within the last couple of hours, we've seen several inches of rain for areas like Galveston, there's a flash flood warning there because of all the rainfall they've seen. And some of that includes areas like Galveston that got about 5 to 7 inches of rain already, and Houston really starting to see that rainfall as well. So back to the radar here, high winds to flash flood warnings for the next several hours for Houston to Galveston. Needless to say, I don't think there's going to be much of a morning commute in the Houston to Galveston area. And then on top of that, they're dealing with storm surge. So anywhere you see these orange colors, that's 3 to 6 feet of storm surge. And that's exactly what meteorologist Justin Horn saw out there in Matagorda Bay earlier today. Here's a look at those wind gusts. Palacios wind gusts of 81 miles per hour. Galveston 67 miles an hour. Houston 68 miles per hour. Here in San Antonio, it's breezy, but that's about it. We're not seeing damaging wind gusts in the least. But out near Hallettsville, in our viewing area, there have been wind gusts of up to 50 miles per hour, even though the rainfall is not much of an issue out there. And when we look at your futurecast, heavy rains continue for areas near Houston to Galveston to College Station by mid-morning. Notice that we stay dry here in San Antonio. Now, the hurricane will weaken into a tropical storm within the next several hours here, and by overnight tonight, the storm will be near Texarkana as just a low pressure system. But I do want to mention, even though we're not going to get any rain today, we do have the potential for rainfall tomorrow in the afternoon. That's separate from Beryl. But tomorrow in the afternoon, a few pop-up downpours are going to occur right around the time of the evening commute, kind of like what we dealt with on Saturday. Remember how Saturday there were some neighborhoods that got a lot of rain, some that missed out? That's exactly going to be the case tomorrow. A 40% chance for rain tomorrow. So even though we missed out on the rain today, at least we have a chance tomorrow. 40% chance on your Tuesday for a few showers and storms in the afternoon. Looking at your KSAT 12-hour forecast, guys, it's just going to be a quiet day for us. The only impact from Beryl is that winds are going to be from the northeast, breezy at times, gusting up to 30 miles per hour. Other than that, it's going to be warm and sunny. We're going to be looking at a high temperature of 95 degrees in San Antonio, not too humid in the afternoon. Cooler the farther east you go toward LaGrange, 84, but toward Del Rio, hotter. 103 for the high temperature. And then looking at your 7-day forecast, best chance for rain is tomorrow, 40% chance for showers and storms in the afternoon. In the week ahead, we'll only see isolated rain, highs in the mid-90s. At least we're not seeing any triple digits on that map. Let's go ahead and take a look again at Beryl because I want to point out Houston, Galveston dealing with the flooding rains. Our meteorologist Justin Horn was in Matagorda Bay area as this made landfall at 4 o'clock in the morning. He's now on the south side of the storm, but Justin has been reporting that the south side of the storm is surprisingly gusty and rainy. Justin, what are you seeing? How has it been this morning? You've been tracking this storm and the storm surge as well.
Yeah, it's been pretty impressive to watch it unfold, Sarah, if I'm being honest. It was a storm that really kind of intensified there right at the end, which we expected it to do right when it hit that warm water right along the coast. Now, it was still a Category 1 storm, but the storm surge was about 5 feet. We saw that here where we are in Matagorda, and the winds right now, as you said, on the back side of the storm, almost equally as impressive as this is coming through. We are starting to get a little bit of light on the horizon, so this is really going to help us. And as I kind of scan the area around me here, you can see there are floodwaters. There is some damage around us. We've seen a lot of tree limbs down. We've seen a lot of damage to homes in the sense that you see like wood planks missing or perhaps some windows broken. Nothing major, at least we haven't seen that yet. But again, once the sun comes up, we'll have a much better idea and we can assess.
You see that his microphone went out. Justin dealing with those very strong winds over there. But thank you, Justin, for your live report now and all overnight while you tracked Beryl.
And you could see the difference with the start of the newscast at 5 a.m. It was very calm out there, and then it started to pick up for him, even saying that it felt like pins on his face when that rain was hitting him.
So stay safe, Justin. Obviously, the storm is acting up right now, but right now it's 6:20, and we'll go ahead and check in with RJ for now.
Yeah, guys, you could just feel the force of those winds right there. And obviously, Justin, a true professional there, still able to report even in those conditions. So, yeah, make sure, Justin, you guys stay safe, along with our photojournalist Matt Craig out there doing some really intense reporting for us as this storm hits the Texas coast. Right now, traffic is looking pretty good along many parts of the San Antonio area. We have cleared out 35 at Olympia Parkway. So we still have our icon up there. Need our maps to go ahead and update that here in just a bit. But you see from our cameras that TxDOT, the Hero truck, went ahead and cleared out that stalled vehicle on the southbound lanes of 35. One other stall to let you know about that's going to be on the northwest side. It's going to be I-10 West at Camp Bullis Road. It looks like traffic is still moving along that area, so it doesn't seem to be any major delays out there for our drivers northwest of the La Cantera area. All right, let's go ahead and check in with photojournalist Alex Gomez. He has been on the streets of San Antonio for us. Alex, how are things looking out there?
Good morning, RJ. Things are looking pretty good right now. The speeds aren't really being affected, or I haven't seen any major slowdowns since about this past hour. So I took 410 all the way from the west side to the east side. Now I'm on the northeast at 35 North at O'Connor Road, but drive times are still looking good out here. I'll let you know if I see any major slowdowns, RJ.
All right, thank you very much, Alex. Yeah, and you see pretty much dry roads out there. Kind of a little bit of clouds in the sky, but things are looking good out there for our drivers that are about to hit the roads. We take one more look. I-10 right there, downtown area. I-10 at Crossroads over there by Balcones Heights and Castle Hills. Traffic looking pretty good across most of the area, guys.
Well, that's very good news for right now.
Yeah,
thank you,
definitely.
RJ.
Yeah.
And thank you also for tracking Beryl as well, Sarah.
We'll keep you posted.
Time now is 6:21 and 79 degrees for now.
And as we had to break, a live look at... actually, we're going to break.
Moving forward with node-positive breast cancer,
my fear of recurrence could have held me back.
but I'm staying focused
And doing more to prevent recurrence.
Verzenio is specifically for HR-positive, HER2-negative, node-positive early breast cancer with a high chance of returning as determined by your doctor when added to hormone therapy. Verzenio reduces the risk of recurrence versus hormone therapy alone. Diarrhea is common, may be severe, or cause dehydration or infection. At the first sign, call your doctor, start an antidiarrheal, and drink fluids. Before taking Verzenio, tell your doctor about any fever, chills, or other signs of infection. Verzenio may cause low white blood cell counts, which may cause serious infection that can lead to death. Life-threatening lung inflammation can occur. Tell your doctor about any new or worsening trouble breathing, cough, or chest pain. Serious liver problems can happen. Symptoms include fatigue, appetite loss, stomach pain, and bleeding or bruising. Blood clots that can lead to death have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have pain or swelling in your arms or legs, shortness of breath, chest pain, and rapid breathing or heart rate, or if you are nursing, pregnant, or plan to be.
I'm focusing on what counts.
Talk to your doctor about reducing your risk.
Welcome back. We're taking a quick break from our Beryl coverage and talking some San Antonio Spurs. It's been a busy 48 hours for your silver and black as the team continues to make some big money moves around Victor Wembanyama. The Spurs officially signed former All-NBA guard Chris Paul to a deal and added another potential starter to the lineup. So let's go ahead and catch you up on everything the Spurs have been doing. So last week we reported that CP3 had agreed to a one-year deal to come to the Alamo City. So he officially signed over the weekend. The Spurs went ahead and announced that. So over the weekend, though, Spurs were making some interesting moves here. They traded guard Devontae Graham to Charlotte to free up cap space. And a lot of people were like, what is going on here? Well, it turns out that the Spurs were part of a three-team deal where they acquired veteran forward Harrison Barnes from Sacramento. Again, a three-team deal that sent DeMar DeRozan, former Spur, to the Sacramento Kings. The Spurs also got a 2031 first-round draft pick swap from the Kings in this deal. So A+ here from Brian Wright and the front office in some of these deals they've been making in the offseason. So CP3, we're looking at $11 million. Harrison Barnes, $20 million. Now, here's the deal. Unfortunately, the Spurs do not have that amount yet to offer both players. So we do anticipate some more roster moves coming up. So if you have those Blake Wesley jerseys, Malachi Branham jerseys, just be careful because they may actually get traded here in a bit, or Chetty Osman, Charles Bassey. A lot more moves coming up for the silver and black. But again, A+ so far to the San Antonio Spurs front office. All right, again, the big story today is tracking Beryl along the Texas coast. We're going to go ahead and give you a quick look here at our drive cam as we are about to head to break. Again, more news, traffic, and of course the big story weather coming up here in just a bit.
Hi, good morning. It is 6:30 and it's been a busy Monday so far as our team continues to track Beryl.
Thanks for starting your morning with us. Like you said, it's been a busy weekend throughout. Sarah, I know you've been tracking this storm all weekend long.
Yeah, here in San Antonio, though, there's no issues from Beryl whatsoever. In fact, kind of unfortunately, we're not going to get any rain whatsoever from this storm. But I'll tell you what, I'm not envious of Houston and Galveston right now getting the brunt of this storm. Still a hurricane with sustained winds of 80 miles per hour. As it moves over land and gets away from its source of warm Gulf of Mexico water, it is expected to weaken. But again, Beryl, Category 1 hurricane, really continuing to douse the Houston, Galveston area with lots of rain and a very heavy winds as well. In fact, I have family out in the Galveston area, and they just have been reporting that it has been pretty windy, and they're hearing things hit on their home and stuff like that. So there's a lot of folks from Houston to Galveston that are in the thick of it this morning. Here's that characteristic eye. You can see in the green boxes here, this is a flash flood warning. Many of these areas have already seen 4 to 5 inches of rainfall with way more on the way. I want us to go ahead and take a look at some power outages in these areas. So far, power outages are high, but not all that high. In some of these areas, we have 34,000 customers without power. In the Houston area, so far only 200 customers without power, but this number is going to go up as we see Hurricane Beryl really continuing to bring heavy winds and gusty winds to the area. So I expect power outages to happen here fairly soon for that area. Then Beryl will trek up to the north by College Station as a tropical storm, still 65-mile-an-hour winds, toward Texarkana overnight tonight as a tropical storm with 40-mile-per-hour winds, but then falling apart near Little Rock. But here's a look at how much rain is expected. Additional rainfall on top of the already 4 inches of rain they've seen. They could see pockets of 10+ inches of rain near the Houston area. And again, notice here in San Antonio, we are going to stay dry. No rain for us today. Partly cloudy, and we'll be looking at actually clearing skies, 95. The only impact we're going to see from Beryl is that we'll have gusty winds of up to 30 miles per hour through parts of this morning. But again, it has been very, very windy, very messy for our meteorologist Justin Horn, who has been out tracking Beryl all throughout the night, been up for more than 24 hours as Beryl moved across Matagorda Bay, making landfall just after 4. There was a brief moment there where he experienced quiet with the eye, but it has been very messy on the south side of that storm. Justin, what is going on with you out there?
Yeah, we're still seeing those strong winds, Sarah, that's for sure, on the backside of this storm system. So these winds are coming out of the out of the west, mostly north and west, and starting to turn a bit as the storm system moves north. But they're powerful, and it's adding insult to injury because sorry about that. Because these winds were so strong overnight. I want to show you some video of what we saw overnight. It's just about 11:40 here in Matagorda, and just about 30 minutes ago, Beryl was upgraded to a hurricane, and now we're starting to see one of the heavier rain bands come through. Winds have definitely picked up. I think we're seeing tropical storm force winds pretty much sustained here in Matagorda. We've noticed some water starting to come over the road in spots. It's just past midnight, and we're starting to really feel the effects of Beryl as she's coming on shore. Take a look at the storm surge that's starting to come up over this road. Now, it's a low-lying road, but it's these kind of roads that can get very dangerous in a storm like this. Winds are going to continue to pick up as that eyewall is just about 30 miles offshore. It's about 1:15, and we're inside the storm chaser this go-round because if you look outside, it is blinding rain. This truly is the heaviest part of the storm. And I'm sitting here looking at radar, and that eyewall is just about to be here. Well, the eyewall's here. The eye itself is just about to be here. And it's going to be a close call as to whether or not that eye moves over us. But if it does, we should get a brief calming of the winds. It took longer than expected, but we are finally in the eye of Hurricane Beryl. In fact, skies are clearing somewhat up above us, and the winds have let up, the rain has let up, and we'll get a break in the action for at least a little bit. But what I want to show you here is back behind me, where you see all those cars gathered. That is where the storm surge has come up to, and it came up quickly. This is Beach Road, and the water is completely covering the road at this point. A pretty dangerous situation as that storm surge rose very quickly. We are in the town of Matagorda, and if you look back here over my shoulder, you probably can't see much. It's dark back there. Power is out to much of the town, we think. You're not seeing many lights, at least. And I'll turn your attention this way. You can see some of the floodwaters, whether it be from storm surge or heavy rain. A lot of the streets here are flooded. You can see that yield sign too, underwater. And we noticed a few houses perhaps taking on a little bit of water. So that is the latest from here in Matagorda. And we think we should see a lot of improvement as Beryl starts to move north by sunrise. Yeah, but with that being said, we're dealing with these strong winds right now. So that was earlier when we were in the eye of the storm, but now we're on the south side of the storm. And as I said, it's been impressively strong. We got to give it another couple hours here before Beryl completely moves out and gives Matagorda some relief here on the Texas coast, guys.
All right, Justin, incredible reporting out there in the Texas coast along with our photojournalist Matt Craig. You can just feel the force of those winds out there. And Justin even apologizing for a second for losing a little bit of his train of thought. You know, you are doing amazing work out there, my friend. My guy, stay safe out there along with all those folks along the Texas coast. Loop 410, Jackson Keller, traffic moving along pretty smooth both directions there. And again, because of the rain that maybe we anticipated in the San Antonio area, no major construction closures overnight Sunday into early Monday morning. Do anticipate that will change, but if you're about to step outside, things looking pretty good. East side of town, we have a stall right now, Loop 410 north at Sinclair Road, but that's really the only thing that we're seeing at the moment in terms of any stalls or delays right now. Let's go ahead and check in photojournalist Alex Gomez. He is hitting the streets for us on a Monday morning. Alex, how are things looking out there, my man?
Well, I think they're excellent right now, RJ. The roads are still dry this morning, so the drive times have been fast. And I came around to the second time to the northeast side. I came down 35 southbound right there at 1604, and there is no construction this morning. So all lanes are open, and we were coming down full speed limit, 65 miles per hour, RJ.
All right, there's the proof. Yeah, traffic moving along both directions on the northeast side. Again, an area that we see a lot of construction on a daily basis. So that's a quick check of our traffic conditions. Patty, Stephanie, back to you guys.
Well, this morning, many of us are heading back to work, back to the office. But how are you feeling this morning with the surge of COVID-19 and other respiratory viruses? That's a good question to ask yourself. The friends and family gatherings this past holiday weekend might have been a spreader for respiratory viruses. Now, that's including COVID-19 and the flu. Last week, local medical experts were reporting a spike in COVID-19 related cases. Around 100 were tracked by University Health. Now, those were just the folks that showed up to get tested. A lot more were not tracked. Luckily, there were not a significant number of hospitalizations. Now, the summer COVID trend could continue this week after those group gatherings, and doctors say it is not just COVID that's out there this summer.
COVID by far is out there the most. There's also rhinovirus, which we know classically causes the common cold. There are some cases still of flu, lower numbers, because that way you will know if you need to kind of isolate yourself so you're not exposing other people that could be at risk for more severe disease.
And I know what you're thinking, you're healthy and it's just COVID, it's fine. Well, doctors say consider others who have a weak immune system, who have lung disease or are elderly. So isolate yourself and wear a mask. According to the U.S. Center for Disease Control data, last year more people died from COVID complications than from the flu. And the signs are very similar to other respiratory illnesses: fatigue, congestion, a runny nose, a cough, but a loss of taste and mental fatigue are still very prominent with COVID.
Well, the time now is 6:39 and 79 degrees for now.
And as we go to break, a live look at Galveston at the coast right now as Beryl continues moving ashore along the Texas coast.
Welcome back at 6:43. We just saw Justin out there live, just dealing with those very, very strong winds.
How strong were those winds out there?
So earlier, Justin was reporting when he was in the middle of the eyewall. So before midnight, right around midnight, 100-mile-per-hour wind gust for Justin. They were in the storm chaser. They were safe. And, you know, he's really done a great job of just making sure that he's in a safe spot to observe this hurricane, which, by the way, is still a hurricane. It made landfall around 4 o'clock in the morning, and it is continuing to push off to the north.
Well, you continue to track that.
I will. Unfortunately for us in San Antonio, we're on the dry side of that storm, so no rain for us. Let's go ahead and take a look at Hurricane Beryl right now. Hurricane Beryl working its way through areas from Houston to Galveston. Now, what's interesting is I've got friends and family out near the Houston area, and it's in Galveston. And, you know, in 2017, they had Hurricane Harvey, but Hurricane Harvey was really more of a flood event. They're getting a lot of winds from Hurricane Beryl. Some people experiencing wind that they didn't experience with Harvey as it moved through. In fact, what I can do right now is go ahead and take a look at some of those winds at the moment. Let's take a look at the velocity from the Houston radar. Now, this is looking a little bit farther up into the storm, so even though it's showing 82-mile-per-hour winds near Galveston, it's probably more like 60 miles per hour with a few gusts of up to 80 miles per hour in that area. So very, very windy in those areas. And then as you can see, there's these green boxes here. Those are flood warnings. So there's flash flood warnings ongoing across Houston, Galveston. Some of these areas have seen 4 or 5 plus inches of rain with additional 3 to 4 inches of rain on the way. So a grand total of 6 to 10 inches of rain for the Houston down to Galveston area. Here's that characteristic eye. That eye is now completely on shore. And as Beryl continues to move north at about 12 miles per hour. It will gradually weaken as it moves onshore, but it's still going to be bringing a ton of rainfall to the Houston area. Notice, again, here in San Antonio, we're on the completely dry side of this storm. In fact, I'll turn on the radar a little bit closer to San Antonio. Other than a few showers near Gonzales and maybe up near San Marcos, we're getting nothing, and we will continue to get nothing from Beryl. There's also storm surge. Anywhere you see this orange color, that's a storm surge of 3 to 6 feet. So they're getting a lot of storm surge in the bays out near Houston, Galveston, Lake Jackson. And here's a look at the current wind gusts of 68 miles per hour in Houston, 62 miles per hour in Galveston. But I just saw an 80 mile per hour wind gust out near Galveston a while ago. And take a look in Hallettsville in our viewing area, Cuero in our viewing area. area. Wind gusts of 40 to 50 miles per hour for our eastern counties. Now, they're not getting a ton of rain right now, but they are getting those gusty winds. Beryl will continue to move off to the north, affecting areas like the Woodlands by about 8 o'clock this morning. College Station, it'll be a tropical storm, and it'll be bringing a ton of rainfall to College Station by the mid-morning hours, working its way through Texarkana by about this evening as a tropical storm, and then eventually dissipating by early Tuesday morning. Even though we do not expect any rain today in San Antonio from Beryl, there's a chance for rain tomorrow. Has nothing to do with Beryl, but in the afternoon tomorrow, some of us are going to get some heavy downpours, kind of like what happened on Saturday. There were those that missed out on the rain, those that got pockets of heavy rain. That's what's going to happen tomorrow. So there is hope for rain tomorrow during the afternoon, 40% chance, and in the week ahead, only isolated rain. So tomorrow's the day to hope for rainfall in San Antonio. As we look at your KSAT 12-hour forecast for the day today, it's just going to be a breezy and warm one. We're going to be looking at 89 degrees by noon. In the afternoon, 95 for the high. Those winds could gust from the northeast at about 25 to 30 miles per hour. Now, high temperatures today going to vary depending on where you live. The farther east you are, it'll be closer to 90 degrees. The farther west you are, the closer to 100. So Del Rio, Eagle Pass, Laredo, 100, 103 degrees for the high. Looking at your 7-day forecast, again, we've got a 40% chance in the afternoon during the afternoon commute. So keep that in mind tomorrow for a few heavy downpours. Highs will be in the mid 90s this week. No triple digits in the forecast for us, but again, all eyes are on Hurricane Beryl as it continues to push through the Houston and Galveston area.
All right, Sarah, thank you so much for tracking that. And we're going to go ahead and go, I guess, outside to Alex.
I believe we're going to Justin.
Oh, we're going to Justin. Yeah. We're going to Justin.
I know Justin's out there.
There he is.
Having some problems, obviously, with his equipment because it's pouring rain out there.
Well, he's on the south side of the storm, which you would really think usually is quieter, but it's been very windy for you, Justin.
It has been. Yeah, it's kind of been unusual, honestly, to see the wind pick up as much as it had. I think we got a little spoiled by the eye. The eye was so large, and we were in it for a while, and the winds were actually really nice and calm within that eye. But as this southern part of the storm has come through, these winds have picked up in a big way. And I would say right now, and I'm being sheltered by our storm chaser here, I would say that winds are gusting 60 to 65 right now on the backside of this. So this is, as I said earlier, adding insult to injury to all the damage that occurred earlier with the storm surge and those really strong winds with that initial band. And now we're getting another round here for folks along the Texas coast and in the city of Matagorda. We're about to go back in to the city, and we'll check out any damage, and we'll pass that along to you. We'll also be reporting that on social media and online as well, guys.
Thank you, Justin. You're doing a great job out there. It seems like the wind's a little more under control than it was in your earlier hit, so stay safe.
All right, so grateful for Justin out there, and I'm glad he's safe too.
Absolutely. He has been tracking hurricanes for the better half of the decade, so he's doing
He's a
good.
pro out there. He knows when to be safe.
Yeah, he's definitely in his element out there, along with our photojournalist, Matt Craig, and they've done a great job. Yourself included, Sarah. I know all of our Weather Authority team, Mia, been doing a great job tracking Beryl as it makes its way to and across the Texas coast. All right, real quick, want to give you a quick look here at the roads. We're going to go to Drive Cam, and Alex Gomez, I know that we've been checking with him throughout the entire morning. So, Alex, go ahead and give us a quick update of your whereabouts and let people know how traffic's looking right now.
Well, right now I just left downtown, RJ. This is going to be 21 northbound right at St. Mary's, and so far all of the highways been looking pretty good. Driving conditions here in San Antonio are excellent. We have dry roads this morning, so I haven't seen too many problems. But you know what, RJ? I can't say that I'm disappointed. I was ready to drive in some rain this morning.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were anticipating that we were going to get some rain. That's why I think TxDOT went ahead and held off on some construction projects and some construction areas that we usually see. But thank you again, Alex, for checking things out. And we see a nice sunrise and again, no rain, y'all, but definitely a nice shot from Alex's camera right there as we check in with Drive Cam.
All right.
Good news for drivers here.
Time right now, 6:51, 79 degrees out there.
Let's look out there with Live Cam. Yeah, good news for drivers here in San Antonio again, and not the rain that our neighbors in Houston are having to deal with. So the weather looks pretty good. And Sarah said there might be chances of rain tomorrow, but not affiliated with Beryl. We'll be checking in with her again very soon.
San Antonio not going to see any rain from Hurricane Beryl today, which is currently working its way through Houston and Galveston as a Category 1 hurricane. Damaging wind gusts. I've seen a few wind gusts of 90 miles per hour and lots of rainfall for the Houston to Galveston area. We're talking 5 to 7 inches of rain. Now outside right now in San Antonio, it's not too bad this morning, 78. Notice our winds are from the north. That is because of Beryl. We're going to have some gusty winds today, maybe up to about 20 to 30 miles per hour. But other than that, it's going to just be a hot day. Temperatures are going to climb pretty steadily. By noon, we'll be near 90. In the afternoon, mostly sunny and 95 for the high, and mostly clear evening tonight. Now, no rain today, but I do want to mention that we do have the potential for a few storms tomorrow. Our chance stands at 40%. If you want something to compare to for our rainfall chances tomorrow, Saturday. Remember, there were pop-up downpours during the day Saturday? That's going to be possible tomorrow, too. Otherwise, it'll still be a warm week with temperatures in the mid-90s. RJ.
It'll be nice to get some rain.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Yeah, I have an incident right now I want to let you know about if you're about to head out around the San Antonio International Airport. Trying to figure out what tech stop was putting up here. It looks like we have what looks like some type of tanker truck that caught some fire here because I'm seeing some smoke coming out of the hood there. We have the tanker truck out there. This is the biggest thing that we're following right now. 410 westbound right there at Broadway, right before you get to the airport, right before 410 and 281. And once again, great job, Sarah, Justin, tracking Beryl this morning. You guys did incredible.
Thank you, RJ.
Just wish we could get some more rain in San Antonio.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm hoping tomorrow we get a few showers.
Yeah, fingers crossed for that.
Fingers crossed. Thanks for joining us. And thanks again to Justin and Matt Craig out covering Beryl.
We'll see you at 9.